more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds. More when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds. More when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds. More when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. OG boy.
Day we hustle, but the night we
OG boy. Know that they ride or die.
Yeah.
I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side.
Hello and welcome inside of Archers Arena in Cardiff for tonight's WBBL fixture between the Cardiff Met Archers and Essex Rebels, live here on Cardiff Met Sport TV. It's been 2 weeks since we last covered a game here at Kincoid campus. That was a loss to Oakland, but the Archers have been back in action. They bounced back with a win against Caledonia, but they come into tonight's game with 2 losses on the bounce. My name is Oliver Hampson. I'll be taking you through all the action tonight. I'm delighted to be joined by Wales assistant coach and former student here at Cardiff Met, Tom Guntrip. Firstly, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you very much.
For the Archers tonight, they're looking to stop it from being 3 losses in a row. How do they go about that?
This game is a battle of styles. Essex like to score, Archers like to keep the games low scoring. So it's really about who comes out on top in whatever style of basketball they want to play. Essex get after it nice and fast. Archers like long offences, try and work it inside. Contrasting styles, it's more about who can impose their will on the game.
And you mentioned there the Archers, they do tend to play a lot more of a defensive style. Is there anyone they really need to pinpoint tonight to make sure that the Essex Rebels don't put up a big number on them? Because Essex, they've got a really, really good offense.
Rebels' number one scoring threat probably D'Angelique Waith. She was number 2 in scoring when she last played back in, I think it was 18-19. They've also got 3 really good three-point shooters, Munns, Colehouse and Begg. They all get up 5 or 6 threes a game, shoot them at a high percentage. Essex are second best in the league at shooting three-pointers. So it's really about just can they slow down the threes, can they slow them a little bit inside and force them to try and take a lot more time off the clock.
So the Archers, they have had a few injury issues. One of them who is missing tonight is Sarah Wagsup, but she will be on the bench for them. What can she bring from them just off the bench without even getting onto the court tonight?
Well, just remember when I coached Sarah well with Sarah a bit, she's got great energy. So even if she's not playing, she'll still make sure her teammates are engaged in the game. If they're on the bench, she'll be leading the chance. She'll be making sure the players on court feel hyped up. She'll be making sure the players off the court feel involved. She's a really good sort of connector between coach and player in this role.
And Sarah has been involved in coaching a lot. We actually caught up with her earlier in the season for part of our Coach Collective series. Here's what she had to say.
There we go. I'm Sarah Wagstaff and I'm the head coach of our Women's Division 1 National League team and also our under-18 women. I think I've always had a passion for teaching and coaching, and I think back to when I was in primary school when I first ever started playing netball, as it was at the time. And I always loved, teaching my brothers and things. And then I moved to secondary school, and I was just so inspired by my PE teachers that I then realised that actually I wanted to coach. I think back to my secondary school teachers, and if it wasn't for Tara Allen at the time, I wouldn't have been involved in the sport, so she was my secondary school PE teacher. And also Steve Morritt was really influential. And then when I came to Cardiff Met, the obvious one is Damien Jennings. He's been so influential on me and my career, even up until now, so I have a lot of time and respect for Damien, and I'm really thankful for him and all the support he's offered me, and have learnt so much from him. So I'd say, Damien mainly. I find it hard to kind of pinpoint a philosophy. I think the biggest thing that I aim and aspire to do is to make sure I create an environment where all my players are enjoying themselves and having fun, and they want to keep coming back. I think, you know, I've been really lucky in my basketball career to still be involved in a playing capacity, and that's what I want for the young females that I work with. You know, they don't just have to finish playing after they finish university. They could really have a long, successful career ahead of them, and I think what I try to encourage now in my environment, and I guess it could be part of my philosophy, is that players enjoy themselves and they love what they do. I think that's the main thing for me. I think in the environment that I create, so I make sure that, you know, when we come together that we enjoy the environment, we enjoy each other's company. So I'll make sure that players will get to know each other individually. They don't just work with the same people all the time. I want them to enjoy the practice, so, you know, the content of what I'm delivering has to be fun. I don't believe in having training sessions that aren't enjoyable, so I think that for me is key, like the content of sessions. And yeah, I think building those relationships with individuals is what helps the collective environment. If they can trust me, trust each other, know they have someone that cares, then that in itself I think is a great recipe for players knowing that, you know, they're in an environment they want to be in. We were really lucky, for example, last year where we won every game. We were 10-0 in the league, and I didn't need to give inspirational quotes or inspirational stories because the girls worked hard and they were having fun and they were enjoying it, but we were in a situation we were winning, so that was an easier situation. I think back to 2008-09, before I went away, and I was coaching the Division 2 team then, and we were bottom of the league. We hadn't won games, and we were, we'd come up every week we were losing, so it was quite a tough environment to be in. But I remember a particular time out, I think it was, and we were actually down by 1 to top of the league, and I drew this infamous sideline play that we still run, where it involved a back screen and a lob pass, and we actually had the opportunity to take this layup, which is a real high percentage score. So we had the opportunity, but we missed it, and we actually lost by 1. So we could have beaten top of the league based on that one out of timeout play, and we didn't. But I think it just goes to show that it doesn't matter, you know, if you're down, if you're losing, you know, we can be competitive, and I think that's what I've always enjoyed with the teams I've worked with. Coaching is about people. It's about, especially in our team sport, which I absolutely love. I'm not sure I'd be any good if I was working on my own as an individual athlete. But yeah, for me it's about people, building relationships, building lifelong friendships. I've been so lucky, and the majority of my closest friends have all been teammates of mine. So for me, coaching really is about people. So I think for me, it gives me something that I love doing, that I really enjoy. It gives me purpose. I think lockdown and having our season cut short really showed me how much I love it being part of my daily routine and part of my schedule. But yeah, it just gives me a second family, like away from my own family and away from home, that, you know, I'm committed to, and I love being around.
And that's fascinating stuff there by Sarah Wagstaff. Really great edit on the video as well. Whoever did that probably should be top of the class here at Cardiff Met. That might have been me. Anyway, back to the game tonight. Tom, there is a lot of experience on this court, but there's one person in particular for the Archers who's fairly inexperienced in terms of, she's a recent signing, but she's been a great signing, Marley Bull. What can you tell her about us? Tell her about us.
Marley is a ball of energy. You know, she's really creative, not necessarily in terms of sort of the traditional way of fancy handles, but she can finish in a variety of ways. You know, she's got Euro steps. She uses the glass really well. She demonstrated that against Leicester last weekend. She had a couple of Euro steps, a nice up and under, and we got past a former GB international who was not easy to score on in Azania Stewart. If you're trying to get past somebody 6'3", you've got to be creative, and then she certainly did it with ease.
And someone else who's in action tonight, Mara Machazotti, Argentinian international. She was kept quite quiet when we broadcast the game 2 weeks ago. I think that the Oakland's Wolves did a really good job of closing it down. Is that exactly what Essex are going to try and do as well?
Yeah. I slid into the DMs of Essex coach Tom Sadler, and I asked him a little bit about what he's going to do. And it's one of his key focuses is making sure that they kind of lock down the paint, make sure that Machazotti doesn't have the easy scores. She's a sort of dual threat. She loves to post up and she loves to pop off the pick and roll. She'll pop for a jump shot. She nailed quite a few of those, and they're quite tough ones against riders. And then she's got a really great right hook in the post, and she's quite physical down there as well. I guarded her once, and it left me with a bruised rib for quite some time.
Well, one person that the Archers are missing is another new face for this season. Shannon Hatch is out of action. She's been out of action for a while. How much of a loss is that for them?
I think you probably refer to her as a glue piece. I spoke to Steph Collins about her, and she was really impressed with the way she's settled in. She's a really positive influence. You'll see her on the sideline today. She'll be a bit like Sarah, but she'll be really hyping up her teammates. She defends, she rebounds, she can shoot the three, she can bow and four. She can sort of do it all. And she's a really important piece for the Archers, and they're going to miss her. But if they can cope with her absence, then they've got a great shot.
And for some of us here, it's the first time we're seeing the Essex Rebels in action. What is it that we need to know about them tonight?
I think one thing to watch is when they use their zone defence. They'll go into a full court zone. They'll play 1-2-2. So there'll be someone. It'll look sort of a bit like a pyramid. There'll be someone, one person pressuring the ball, and then they'll try and double team. And they're going to try and double team, get some traps, get some steals, get out and run. They're a really athletic, fast team, and that's what they want to do. They just want to get out and run. There are obviously vulnerabilities to any defence, and with this zone, there's potentially a lot of holes in the middle. But if they can play that style of defence well, then they've obviously got a great chance of winning. And the Archers will be looking to take advantage of some of those weaknesses.
And I'm going to put you on the spot here now. Only a couple of minutes until tip-off, but what are your predictions to come out of this game?
It would be quite bold to make a prediction on live TV, knowing full well it could come back and bite me. But I think I'm going to refer back to what I said earlier. If Essex can play their style of play, then I don't think the Archers are going to be able to keep up with them. The Archers concede quite a consistent score. They've conceded a range, I think, of 17 points across all the games. They're very consistent. It's whether they can score more than the opposition. Essex are a little bit more up and down. Sometimes they beat teams by 30. Sometimes they lose by 20. They can hold a team to 50 or let them score 100. So it's really more about who's really going to put their style of play on the game, and who's going to dominate right from the start.
And this isn't the only game of WBBL action today. Sevenoaks defeated the London Lions 75-72 earlier on. At the moment, Manchester 77-47 up against the Oakland's Wolves. In terms of WBBL, how much of a good season has it been so far, with everything considering the pandemic?
I think it's probably been, I'd say it's the best season of WBL so far. There's traditionally sort of a few tiers. The Suns were always towards the top of the leaderboard, and so were the Riders, and it was basically who out of those two, if they beat each other, would have a chance. The Lions have come out of nowhere. It's their first defeat of the season, but they've got a load of international players and good young talent. They always have. And they've been a real surprise story. And Kennedy Leonard, again, double-digit assists. She's absolutely on fire this season. Teams like Durham, they've won trophies and been in finals, and they're struggling at the bottom of the league. Anyone can beat anyone on any day, and I think we keep seeing that every Wednesday and every weekend.
Well, nearly ready for the start of this game. Robin Lewis, Sarah Jorgensen, Kim King, Mara Machazotti, Marley Ball are your starting five for the Archers. D'Angelique Waith, Munns, Salazar, Costa and Colhass will start for the Rebels. As you can see, the teams both getting ready for the start of this one. Should be a great game of WBBL action.
Ten minutes or 12 minutes.
Nearly ready for action here now.
Just a quick side note, the referees in the BBL and WBL, they always have phenomenal outfits. It's either bright orange, bright purple. They always look great.
And just before the game, all players will take a knee, once again showing there is no place for racism in sport or life in general. well observed as it has been done so all WBBL season long. But it is game time here now. Marchesotti coming up against Waith for the tip-off. And Essex with the first possession here. But there is a turnover. Kim King, Sarah Jorgensen will play it back now to Robin Lewis. She is going to be the one who really starts every rush up court.
That's a great handside King on the first possession. She's got 2 steals a game, and it shows.
Marley Ball tries for the first attempt, but doesn't come to it. But very great reaction from Kim King just to get that one back. Ball again. That's someone who you're going to see a lot of, and she tries again. Can't get it again, no. Archers looking very energetic, even in the first 30 seconds here.
The others, you know, they like to sort of pressure teams defensively and get up on them, and Robin Lewis is one of the fastest players I think that's ever been in the WBBL. So, you know, if she goes full court on someone, they're not going to have an easy night.
Marchesotti now plays it back to Ball, looking for Jorgensen. Marchesotti down low, up to Ball, puts that one up. Third time lucky for her. Can't get it away though. Rebels now coming up. Gonna look for a little bit better. Under a lot of pressure there from Robin Lewis. She's been very, very energetic to start this one. Really putting the Rebels under a lot of pressure. Waith down low here now. Puts that one up and she drains it. That will be first points of the game.
We are going to see a lot of that from Waith tonight. You know, she's so strong. She's got great upper body strength. You're really going to struggle to hold your ground defensively against her down in the post. So Caledonia last weekend looked to front. Waith in the post. It could be the Archers need to look to that to try and slow her down.
And she's got a chance at the three-point play here now. One shot from the line. After that basket puts the Rebels up 2-0. Misses on that one, so still only 2 points ahead. Archers started the stronger in the opening minute, couldn't get any of their first 3 attempts away. Gonna look to try and draw a level again here now. Jorgensen puts that one up. Again, off the rim and out though. Rebels coming up the court now. Kohlhaas. That one will go wide. Kim King with the rebound, brings the Archers up the other way, driving down. They will retain that one.
And 2 rebounds so far for Kay, really showing great energy. Just to do the simple stuff, it really benefits the team when your guards rebound the ball.
Lewis across the ball now. Sata Marchesotti just about recovers to keep that one. Bounce past to Jorgensen. She's got a chance here now, and the Archers are on the board. Really, really well worked there from Marchesotti to keep that one in play. Jorgensen with an easy finish in the end.
There's great composure as well. Not easy when you're directly underneath the hoop. It seems the opposite of an easy layup.
Great pass out wide. 3 going up. Can't get away. Waith can't finish that one either, and the Archers will retake possession.
So one thing that Essex do really well is they skip the ball across court quite well, so you can't just load up and help defenders across. They will fire the ball across court and shoot that 3, so you really have to respect that.
Saw that on display there as well, as the Archers will retake possession here. Jorgensen coming down, finds Lewis on the left-hand side. Marchesotti up high. She's got Jorgensen again. Marchesotti using that strength to try and go up, and she drains it. That's exactly what the Archers need. That's something that the Rebels will need to contain throughout this game.
When you've got a post player who can hook with both left hand and right hand, you can't just force them one way. If they can finish both ways, then that's a really dangerous weapon to have.
Waith now puts up a 3, and calm as you like, gives Essex the lead once again.
Yeah, Waith's first spell in the WBL, she didn't really shoot a lot of 3s, and this year she's shooting nearly 3.5 3s a game, and she's really confident on them as well.
Marley Balls, can she get one back? Again. Archers retake the lead. Ball, that is someone who has really been impressive since signing in January for the Archers, and you're going to expect to see her put up a few more attempts like that tonight.
She makes 2 threes a game, or nearly 2 threes a game. So you really do have to respect that shot.
Munns there, putting the Rebels. Tied game now, 7-0, 6:16 to go in the opening quarter here. Really fast pace to this one. And Marchezzotti will go to the line here. Marchezzotti to put the Archers back ahead. Only one more attempt to make it an 8-7 game. Rare 0% there for Marchezzotti. Still tied up here now, 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
She normally makes 85% of her free throws. She normally quite good at that, so that's quite a surprise there.
Waith with a lovely spin to finish that one, and that will put Essex back ahead. Waith on full display in this opening quarter. She's been great already. King with an attempt there. King's usually pretty good from the three-point range for that one, just a little bit overcooked.
You could probably argue that Kang is the Archer's best shooter, so you're probably surprised there that didn't even iron. Only hits 46% of her threes.
Kohlhaas driving low, and we'll pick up the foul as well. Kohlhaas with a chance to extend the lead here now. One for one. Can't get the second one, no 3 points in it, but the Rebels will recover. Waith already with 7 points, trying to make it 9. Doesn't get it that time, but she's got 2 attempts to add to the scoreboard here.
Begici check it in and looking like she didn't give her enough landing space on the shot.
Makes no mistake with the first one. And it's 12-7 now. Marchezzotti over to Jorgensen. She's a little bit behind, but she manages to recover that one.
And there's an example of Essex going full court, and if you can beat that quickly, you should find a lot of open spaces. I think the Archers are looking to take better advantage of that next time round.
Jorgensen with a great little fake there and drives that one. She had King out wide, but elects to take it to herself. Makes no mistake either, though.
Yeah, really nice composure again on the pass. It's quite easy when people think that someone else should be open to panic on the pass, but if you take the time, you'll find the right person.
There's that long pass across court again that you alluded to earlier, Tom, but this time doesn't pay off for the Rebels. Archers will take possession once again. Marchezzotti checks out for the Archers. Marley Ball will come back in. Lewis assessing her options here now. Jorgensen, she's been very, very involved already. Plays out wide, that will come off a Rebels' hand though. 4:36 to go in the opening quarter. 12 to Essex, 9 to the Archers. Has this been more or less what you expected so far, Tom?
Yeah, I think so. I think the fact that Essex will be able to get free throws on the board early will be key. Both sides, they're not going to play 12 deep necessarily. So if you can get your good players in foul trouble early, then that's only a good sign for the offense.
Kohlhaas brings this one up now. Under pressure from Bigature. Great steal there from Kaying on the break here now, but Waith following her. Kaying can't get it on to go. Lewis, though, will get that rebound.
Very calm head, Lewis. If the situation isn't right, just bring the ball out and you go again.
Kaying with another rebound here. Another chance and a three from Lewis. We're all tied up. Great play there from the steal to get down court. Not panic after a couple of missed attempts, and the Archers tie it up.
Again, King making things happen again. Offensive rebound, steals, great help. She's all over the court. She's really having a big say in what's going on.
Another steal sets the Archers up here now. Marty Ball intercepted that one. She's on it now, plays it down to Laura Shanahan. Up top to Bigature. It's a fake, doesn't get that one to go, so we remain all tied. 3:30 to go in the opening quarter. Very, very fast pace to this one. 2 goes up. Can't get it. Waith with a great jump there just to keep that one.
With Waith, it's not enough just to sort of box her out. You've really got to make sure you've got a body on her and get her off balance, because if you're not giving her everything to stop her getting the ball, she will go get it herself.
Chance goes up, doesn't get it.
So Shanahan just clipped on the landing there.
So the Archers are taking a timeout here as well. Oh, Izzy Bunyan comes in for Kim Kaying. Kaying, like you said earlier, she's been very, very good to start.
And Izzy Bunyan's a really exciting young player. She played GB under-16s last year. Come through the Ponty Panthers system. Probably John Bunyan is a bit of a local legend in South Wales, and then now she's at Archers playing WBL and National League. It's brilliant.
As the Archers take the lead there with Laura Shanahan on the line here.
Bunyan's not the only sort of young Welsh product on display, also on the Archers bench. We've got Maisie Howe, who was captain of the Wales under-16s at Fever, and then we've got Caris Roy, who made her first appearance last weekend and scored right at the buzzer, and her teammates went mental. She's featured on the GB long list as well.
Caris Roy as well on the bench today. Steph Collins really looking to her youth, looking to the future of this club. Bunyan, like you said, last time we called the game against Oaklands, didn't play too much, but when she did, she was very effective. She looks to get involved here as well now. 3 goes up, can't get it.
Yes, the ball comes canning off Waith, but she's there again looking for the rebound. You've really got to put a body on her. It's got to be someone's job at the defensive end. Whoever's nearest her, someone's just got to get rid of her.
Definitely someone of the Archers really need to pay a lot more attention to, try and make sure that she's nowhere near that ball when it comes back down. A couple of rebounds already in this game. Shanahan across the Bigature, fakes out Waith, goes back up and gets it and has a chance at a 3-point play.
That is a phenomenal finisher. The reverse layup's difficult enough without getting hit.
Bigature, she was a real threat for the Archers against Oaklands 2 weeks ago, putting a stamp on the game early in this one, as there will be a timeout. 17-12 to the Archers, 2:31 to go. Been a pretty exciting game.
Yeah, it's quite up and down. There's a lot of energy. It's not a slugfest. There's plenty of great talent on display.
And we've mentioned it already a couple of times. D'Angela Waith, it's been absolutely phenomenal. 9 points. I'm not good at maths, but that's 75% of their points she's got?
Yep, you got to remember, it's not just the points. She's got 3 offensive rebounds. We've only had 7.5 minutes of gameplay. As a coach, you're looking at that and you're thinking that's not good enough. You've done well enough to force someone to miss. If you're then going to allow someone else to pick up an offensive rebound, you've wasted a lot of hard work on defense, and that's something that every coach says, that your defense finishes with making sure you get the ball. It's basically you're going to miss more than you make, so you've got to make sure that as a defensive team you're getting that defensive rebound, you're ending that possession, and you can go off it and get running.
And nearly back underway. Christina Bigacher, after the layup, has a chance at a three-point play, can put the Archers 6 points to the good with 2:31 to go in the opening quarter.
Bigacher, one of the rare players in the WBL, who's also played 3v3 at the World Championships for Romania.
Couldn't get that one, and it was Waith with another rebound, this time a defensive rebound, 5th rebound of the game and the quarter for her. Personal foul there against the Archers.
Jorgensen just getting a little bit too excited to try and stop the pass and just clipping the passer. Doesn't mean because the next foul the Archers commit, regardless of whether they're shooting or not, they will send Essex to the line.
As Waith gets her 11th point, 17-14 to go, just over 2 minutes left in the quarter. Jorgensen, who just gave away the foul, with the ball over to Marley Ball. Ball puts her off the backboard and into the net, 19-14.
She knows the angle. She knew exactly how hard to hit the glass there, and it just dropped perfectly home.
There will be a trip to the line for Waith. Chance to extend her point streak in this opening quarter as Mara Machazotti checks in for Marley Ball again here.
Yeah, Ball just trying to get round and deny Waith, but she was caught the wrong side, and especially when you're right in front of the ref, if you're trying to reach round, you're gonna struggle to get away with that one, unfortunately.
Can't get that one to go, so we remain at 19-14, but one more chance. Rare miss again there for Waith. We remain 19-14 inside the final 2 minutes here.
Yeah, those are the frustrating ones. You think they're going to drop in, they go in and out. They're the worst ones to see.
Jorgensen extends the lead for the Archers. Steph Collins looking very, very pleased on our Archers sideline.
It's a great finish again. Waith's coming over. She's trying to block the shot, and it's a really nice finish.
Down to Waith. Bunyan with her hands in a way to stop that one, but Waith's left wide open, and she's not going to miss from there. Makes no mistake on that one.
Sometimes you just have to laugh when your team has one of those. You do loads of great stuff, and you just don't get the rewards.
Machazotti misses on that one. It's a lovely bounce pass and good vision from Jorgensen to spot her wide open there, but Machazotti can't finish it.
Jorgensen loves to throw passes like that for pick and roll. She's really good at it, and then she loves to try and set her teammates up.
Another personal foul against the Archers. Chance at the line for Kohlhaas. Kohlhaas gets the first one. And gets the second one. 21-17 inside the final 60 seconds of the first quarter.
Levi Warren is the longest serving player on the Archers team. This is her 7th season with the Archers. So, yeah, she's the longest tenured player by far on the court.
And she's just checked in for Christina Bigacher. Jorgensen across to Machazotti. Over to Levi Warren, back to Jorgensen. A lot of the traffic going through Sarah Jorgensen in this game. Izzy Bunyan, the youngster, with a three. She's done that a couple of games in a row now. That's great confidence for her.
Oh, she's got a great technique as well. It looks good. It just looks like it's always going to go in, and then a steal as well.
For someone so young, that is very, very impressive ability as Laura Shanahan tries that one, gets her own rebound. She's got Bunyan up top. Jorgensen, she's going to put up a three, and that's just going to go over. But Izzy Bunyan, so young, but so much confidence.
Yeah, I think it's something you said for coming in when you're a lot younger than everyone else, and just doing what you do and doing what got you into that position.
So 24-18, 2.2 seconds to go in the quarter, and the Rebels with a chance at the line through Megan Haynes.
Well, I think one thing that Coach Steph Collins won't be happy about is the number of fouls that the Archers have committed. You know, once you get to 5, it's team fouls every time, even if they're not shooting.
Haynes finishes the first one, 24-19 now.
Especially someone like Megan Haynes, you know, she almost won the game for Rebels at Riders with her free throw shooting.
And that shooting is on display now. 4 points separate the two teams at the end of the first quarter. I don't think that one would have counted anyway. But high scoring in first quarter. We said it at the top of the program, the Rebels, they like to score. Archers, a bit more defensive, but 24 in a quarter, that's pretty good going.
Yeah, so the Essex are on course. They average 80 points a game, and they're right on course for that. But the Archers only average 63, and they are flying on 24. And the key is it going to be sustainable? You know, if they can keep generating good looks inside it, and they're picking up sort of the cheap, scrappy ones where, you know, they're going and get an offensive rebound or try and get a little loose ball in there. Those are really beneficial. If they can keep this going, then they'll be in with a great shout of winning the game.
And for them, we've said it several times, but D'Angela Waite, they really have to focus on her. She's been very, very effective. Both ends of the course now, 3 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive rebounds. That's someone that the Archers really need to try and make sure someone's just stuck to the entire time to limit her opportunities. 13 points in the game. If they allow her too much space, she can really take over this, can't she?
Oh, she's a phenomenal player. You know, she averages 18 points and 9 rebounds a game. So the fact that she's already on 13 points and 6 rebounds just shows how effective she was in that first quarter. If you're Coach Sadler of Essex, you're now lucky. You're not worried about her. You know she's going to keep going. She wasn't. You know, they're not drawing up plays for her. She just gets these things naturally. What he's going to be more concerned about is sort of the lack of flow from everyone else.
Archers look ready to go. Just waiting for the Rebels to rejoin. Sarah Jorgensen on the court there. She's been very, very effective. 60% with her field goal shooting. 6 points on the night. A lot of energy. The Archers, they don't have the tallest squad. They've got quite a small team, but that speed that they bring with them, though, that's been really effective for them.
Yeah, and Marley Bowen, she starts at the 4, and she's probably not a 4, but she's got enough athleticism to get away with it. And Christina Denucci is a great athlete. She's probably got the size to play the 4. They'll go undersized a lot. They'll try and space the floor, and you know they don't shoot a lot of threes, but they make enough of them to try and keep people honest. I think for the Archers today, if the Essex Plus stars are going to get theirs and the Archers forwards are going to get theirs, it's really on one of the Archers guards to make sure that they step up and they provide that support that the Archers forwards in Ball, Begica and Marcus Ossie need in order to make sure that this is not a nail-biter.
We are back underway in the second quarter. 24-20, the Archers lead here at King Coy campus. Marchezzotti putting up a 3. Can't get it. D'Angela Waite, 7th rebound.
She's not normally a 3-point shooter. You know, she's got decent enough form, but sometimes it's the best shot in the offense, and I don't think anyone would be worried about her taking that one.
Sarah Jorgensen with a great steal there, sends the Archers down the court quickly.
Yeah, there's great speed out there at the Archers, guys. I know I mentioned that Robin Nurse is one of the fastest players in the league, but Sarah Jorgensen's no slouch getting up the court. You know, she can push it and get her team going in a hurry down there.
And you can see it on display there as well. The Rebels are very high offensively, so if the Archers can get enough of their players down court quick, there's a real chance them just outnumbering them. Marchezzotti tries that one, gets it, 26-20. It's been a great showing from Marchezzotti, especially after she was more or less defended out of the game against Oakland 2 weeks ago.
And this is a key battle between her and Costa. And Costa's a great big. They've both got international experience. Marchezzotti's played for Argentina in the last 3 international tournaments.
That is a great response from Kohlhaas. 3 points separate the two teams now in the second quarter. 8:45 to go.
And I think the thing with Essex is that Kohlhaas is such a great scorer as well. It's not like they've got one player that you can just dial in on and do everything you can to stop her. They've got multiple scoring threats all over the court. 5 of their starting players average double digits.
Yeah, that's one thing that Seth Collins said, is that starting 5 for the Rebels is usually one of the best starting 5s. And we're seeing that start to come to life, and count it for Waith.
Yeah, a really great job of just driving hard down the floor. You know, there's one of her teammates there, sets a step-up screen, leaves the defender behind. Then suddenly the defence is quite out of position. You don't have your set help. She bails the hoop. Sometimes you're trying to take a stand and it just doesn't work, and that's more great play by Waith.
Christina Begica comes in for Levi Warren. Good appearance there for Warren. Had a lot of space, a lot of speed as Waith finishes off the three-point play. 2 points separate the two sides now.
As you see there, it's just going into that full court 1-2-2 that they love to do. And the Archers are doing a really good job of breaking it with speed. They've just bypassed the front row of Waith, and she's got such long arms and speed up there that if you can take her out of the equation, then you've done a great job.
Chance to tie it goes missing for the Rebels, and the Archers break the other way. Laura Shanahan, good recovery there to stop her in her tracks. Marchezzotti looked as though it might not go. In the end it does.
That's heart in mouth if you're on the sideline. And she's probably running back there thinking, phew.
4 points between them now. It's been a great start to the second. Colehouse with a three, and that's not going to go, but they will get the rebound. They've got a chance to get some more, and they get it. Costa, she's got a chance to get a three-point play, make this a 1 point game.
Costa normally tries to shoot most things with her left. She's done that last couple of games to great effect. So the fact she goes to her right there and scores the and one indicates that she's not just a singular threat. I don't think you're going to play international basketball for Italy if you can't use both hands. It's great. It's a great move.
As Kim Cahan comes in for Laura Shanahan here. Costa at the line.
Costa's not just a great scorer from the post. She's also a really willing passer. She loves to hit cutters that are going past on the perimeter. She's always happy to move the ball on. She's a great team player and a really, really important one for Essex. She's not always going to be a high scorer, but she's going to be really important if they're going to win.
Jorgensen now gets a bit of room, fakes that one. Begica puts that one up eventually and gets it. It looked as though the Rebels were very strong defensively, but Begica just gets herself that extra inch of space, and that's all she needs to get the 2 points.
So some coaches don't like pull-up twos. They're all about analytics, etc. But for Begica, it's a really, really high percentage shot.
And she gets another one after a steal down the other end. She was stuck to D'Angelo Waith. It looks though that's who she's going to be marking for the time being. Does a great job just making sure she's in the way of that pass and rewarded with two. And a two goes the other way for the Rebels. 34-31 here.
And Carla Reid is just another great scorer that they have on the floor. She shoots a lot of pull-ups and she makes a lot of pull-ups, and if you can do it, then it's a really, really great skill to have.
Marchezzotti underarms that one it looks, but can't get it to go. 34-31 still.
It's a really physical battle down there. Costa's not giving up any ground at all. And it's one of the most difficult things to referee in a game of basketball.
Great steal from the Rebels. Waith can't get that one, gets the second attempt though. Would ideally want to get that first one to go, but she's allowed the space to get that rebound and makes no mistake at the second time of asking.
And I think that's a really important timeout for the Archers. They've had a couple of poor possessions on the offensive end, not much movement and not much execution, and then defensively there's a couple of lapses there that I think for Steph, the fact that there's a couple of uncontested rebounds, some poor helps, there's a sort of no-goes, and if your defence is doing that, then you need to get stopped to it as quick as you can.
And with 34-33 as well, it was a great start to the quarter, but the Rebels, credit to them, they've responded every single time that the Archers gone down and made something happen. A couple of threes as well, that's really been something that's kept them in this one. And I think, like you said, it's a good time for Steph Collins to call a timeout, because the Rebels, if they get their momentum flowing, if they get themselves going in this one, they can really, really take over.
And Essex, they shoot the second most threes in the league, and they shoot them at the second best percentage. So you can't allow them to get on a run like that. The games in WBL on 110, 100, games you see in the NBA, but you don't want to let a team just get a quick 10-point lead. So the thing with Essex is that they don't play particularly deep. They generally go 6 deep with someone to spell a couple of minutes, and then they're not to keep up. They normally go with their starting five, and then and then Megan Haynes comes off the bench. So it's really about can you get one of their key players in foul trouble, like Costa was in foul trouble against Caledonia last week, and can you get them fatigued as quickly as possible to slow them down.
Back underway now. 1 point separates the two sides. Marley Ball looking for options. Jorgensen fakes that one over to Lewis. Lewis, small but speedy across the Kaying. That's not going to go, but Bigature will get the rebound. Archer's doing a good job of moving the ball here, and a 3-point play there for Sarah Jorgensen. Great work from her.
Yeah, she's having a great game so far. An average is 7 points a game, but that doesn't necessarily indicate what she does for the Archers.
Average is 7, but is on 9 so far.
Last time then we saw the Rebels run their zone, and the ball gets centred into the high post around the free throw line. It's going to be can they turn, can they face, and can they put pressure right on the hoop?
Ballhouse from the line gets the first one to go. And gets the second one as well. 5 for 6 from the line for Coalhouse so far. 2 points between the sides. 5:27 to go in the half. Bigature across to Marley Ball. Marley Ball puts that one up and count that one.
You're going to be happy with that if you're Coach Steph Collins. So you've got a great play there. Great play.
Unlucky there from Kaying with the steal, but can't get it to go. Under a bit of pressure. Two players really, really close to her. Maybe rushed the shot a little bit though.
And there we see Costa going back to her left. She does that a lot. She gives it a little half fake with the shoulders back towards the middle of the floor, fakes to go to her right and comes back to the left. That's the go-to move. If you can slow that down, then you're doing a decent job.
Marley Ball can't quite get that one. Good attempt to link up between her and Robin Lewis, but it will be the Rebels with possession now. 2 points behind. They've got a chance to tie it up on this possession. Unless Robin Lewis has something to say about it. Under a lot of pressure there. Costa up top now. Shot goes in. Block coming in from Robin Lewis, but the Rebels will retain it. Costa, no problem there, all tied up.
Again, that's a shame. I think that might be Robin Lewis's first block. It's definitely the first block of the season. It might be her first block ever for the Archers.
Yeah, not the tallest, not always going to get blocks, but good attempt from her. Bigature steps away from Costa, puts the Archers back ahead.
Yeah, you can't allow Bigature time and space. They're worried about her driving to the hoop, rightly so, but she's got a really mean pull-up, so she's very comfortable. Take a dribble in, and she shoots out a very high percentage.
And we're tied up again now. 41-41 is the score inside the final 4 minutes here in the second. This has definitely been one of the best offensive displays for the Archers as they look to try and get another one here from Bigature, but with that rebound really bad, gets it.
So again, we can see down in the post, it's a really physical battle. The referees up in Scotland were calling that a little bit differently last week. Costa, it looked like she wasn't as happy with some of the calls. She wants that post position. She's going to do what she can to establish it, and it's up to you to try and get in the way, or whether you want to let her catch it and play a one-on-one. It's a really tough matchup decision, that one.
Well, inside the final 4 minutes now, I think Steph Collins will be a lot happier with the foul numbers. Archer's been playing a little bit more clean in this second quarter.
Yeah, they've had a lot more discipline, moving their feet, keeping their hands out and trying to, just trying to make the passes difficult. You don't have to make the steal right away. You can make the steal at the other end of the pass.
Shanahan up to Marchesati. Across to Jorgensen. She's been involved heavily so far. Marchesati down low where she's most dangerous. Can't get it to go though, as the Rebels will recover this one.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good look, and it should be disappointing to have made that one.
And the Rebels will make that count. It's only going to count for 2 though, but they will take the lead late here in the half. The Archers look to have slowed down the transition game a little bit. They're not rushing up court a lot. Is that because the Rebels have maybe adjusted their shape defensively?
Yeah, they first it's quite difficult to get out, and then if you can't, stop, make a stop and get the rebound, and then the Rebels just doing a better job in transition defense. I think that's something they spoke about in the break, and it looks like that they've knuckled down on that a little bit more.
As we're tied up again here, 43-all. Been a lot more of a high-scoring affair from the game we called last, as 2 for Costa, 45-43 to Essex.
Yeah, post threat, can step out, hit the jump shot. It's really difficult. The rules of Bell's rules, they favour the attacker, and it's really difficult to defend someone who's got all those skills.
Oh, she's going up. Can't get it. Costa with the rebound, and the Rebels looking deep for D'Angelo Waith. She's still got possession though.
Looking like an NFL game out there. The safety taking on the receiver.
Marley Ball did a good job to stop that one, but Waith with a great presence of mind to keep that ball in play and keep the chance alive for the Rebels, but they can't do it. Can the Archers tie it up here now? Jorgensen across to Shanahan. Heavily contested there. Kaying drives up. Nope, not going to count.
And you can see fatigue setting in for a number of players on the court. There's just not the sharpness of movement. This game's been so up and down, like you said, it's so high scoring. That really takes its toll on you if you're out there for 7 or 8 minutes at a time.
That wayward pass will give the Archers possession and both teams a chance to get some much needed break.
I think you have to give credit on that one for Marley Ball. She did a really good job just sitting on Waith's hip. You're not sure whether you're trying to pass it, which side, are you trying to give it to a north side, are you trying to front, and that forces someone to make a decision they don't really want to make. Ball goes out of play, so great job for Ball there. She's not guarding the person with the ball, but she did a great job on that possession.
Ball across to Shanahan, coming up to the final 60 seconds. A travel there against the Archers, so the Rebels will take possession. Izzy Bunyan's coming back into this contest. King comes out. Robin Lewis as well for Jorgensen.
Yeah, I just think because there were some fresh legs at the end of the half. You don't want to lose this next minute, lose it 8 or 10 nil. You can't really afford that.
Steal there, Andrea Kohlhaas.
Yeah, Lewis worried about the backcourt there and more pressure by Costa.
That's great work from Kohlhaas to get that one. 47-43, Essex lead now. 52 seconds to go in the half. What do the Archers need to do to try and get this one tied up in the next 52 seconds?
I think that when you can afford to slow it down here, you can probably get two good possessions and then maybe a half shot towards the end, judging by how much time is left. But really, it's about adapting. The Rebels have changed their pick and roll defense. They've gone to icing it a bit more, and it's sort of a very contrasting style to the Archers. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to not let you use the ball screen, and you've got to try and drive through the big player while your forward, whoever set the screen, hasn't really got anywhere to go but pop. So that worked for Bigica. And it'll still work for Marcosotti, but they'd rather be able to just get into the middle of the floor and create. They're finding themselves a little bit bogged down, unable to swing the ball around as much as they'd like. So I think that's a really good adjustment by the Rebels, and it's up to the Archers to make that change.
You mentioned Bigica there, 8 points from the bench for her. She's been pretty good for the Archers in the last couple of games, coming true in the first half of this one. 4 points between the sides here, 52.7 to go.
I think the Archers would be in a lot better position if Bigica was available for all the games. She's had an injury problem, so it's great for them that she's back.
Especially with someone like Shannon Hatch out, that's a great person for them to get back into the lineup.
I think the timing was perfect. I think there was one game where they didn't overlap and they were really struggling. So if they had everyone, they'd be a lot happier. But that's not the way the game works.
Marley Ball under a lot of pressure, manages to keep it, dives on it.
As you can see, the ball goes into the high post, she's squared up. The pass wasn't on, but that's a really, if you're thinking as a coach, so you're happy that the ball gets in the high post against the zone, that's probably your number one priority.
That's a hungry defensive play from Essex. 38.5 to go. They've got the 4-point lead here now. They can slow it down and get themselves closer to the half. But it doesn't look as though they're slowing anything down here. A lot of speed. Megan Haynes. Kohlhaas looking for Waith. Nope.
But there's a pretty good job from the Archers there. You know, they don't think they were quite there on the help to get the steal on the lob inside, but they forced Essex into a quick scramble, and now they've got they've got the same amount of time on the shot clock and the game clock, so they can work it for as long as they need. Against the zone, that gets quite difficult while you're trying to run the clock down because it's not really up to you, but you've got to give it a go.
Inside the final 10 seconds here now, Archers looking for the opportunity just to pull themselves back within one ball. Can't get it. Rebound goes to the Rebels, and they will take the lead, 47-43 into the half. Very, very high scoring affair here at the Archers Arena. One thing to point out from that half, you mentioned her averages. D'Angela Waith, 18 points, 10 rebounds already in this game.
Yeah, that is some stat line for half time, and you know, she should be happy she's going in with that stat line, but ultimately it's about can you continue? If you've got 18 points, 10 rebounds at the half, if you finish with 22 points and 12 rebounds, you know, and your side doesn't won, you know, it's a great individual stat line, but ultimately it's all about making sure you do whatever you can for your team to get the victory.
I think the half-time will be a good chance for the Archers to get their breath. Like you said, they're looking to fatigue a little bit towards the end of that half, but they responded well. They couldn't quite get the ball to go the way they wanted to, but overall, Steph Collins has got to be happy with this performance so far.
Yeah, I think she probably will be slightly concerned about the defense. You know, if you're on course to concede, you know, over 90 points, it's not particularly sustainable. It would take some great shooting to get that back. But as I said earlier, the Archers have been pretty consistent on defense, and I've got no doubt that they'll make some changes at half time. And the Rebels probably won't be scoring 47 points in the half again. It's more about whether the Archers can then up their offensive game a little bit.
And what are you expecting them to potentially change? Is there any player, or is it just going to be a system change?
I think they've got to be looking to find a way to counter out the pick and roll defense. They run a lot of pick and rolls, so they need to find a way to attack the big potentially. And then when they're trying to get posts up for Marcosotti, they've probably got to look to get them in a slightly different way. Right now, what they're doing, the Rebels are defending pretty easily. Costa's in great position all the time and making it really difficult for Marcosotti. If they can get her some, she wants post touches, and you know, you should get your 6'4" international basketball player some touches, but can they do it slightly differently and make them a little bit easier for her?
Well, it has been a very, very interesting first half of action. Second half isn't too far away. In the meantime, though, we will take you to another one of our VTs, one of our videos that we've made here at King Coy campus. We have got some incredible Cardiff Met athletes here. Each of them are very different. Each of them have very different game day essentials. Here is what former Archer Aya Abdul's Archer Essentials.
I'm Aya Abdul Daim. Everyone knows me as Aya Abdul, and these are my Archer Essentials. My first item is my gel, because everyone knows I carry gel everywhere. Do my hair after games. Good 7 to 10 minutes. Yeah, always got my edges laid, you know. Yeah, we've got my glue rag. I've got collection, but this is probably my favourite one. As you can tell, I wear a scarf, but if I play while wearing my scarf, it falls off, so I have my glue rag to cover my hair. Yeah, I have a collection, different colours, black, got white ones, but this is my favourite one. Got my hoodie, because I live in hoodies. I have to rep Cardiff, you know. But yeah, I live in hoodies. Wear them to sleep, wear them out, everything. Firstly, they're really comfortable, warm, you know, all weathers. Yeah, so I've got my basketball shoes. I've got 2 pairs, but these are the ones I use indoors. As you can see, they're quite clean. I wore them a few times, but yeah, I like them because they're very colourful. And then lastly, we have my prayer mat, because I pray 5 times a day. You can pray them all together if you're out, but I use it so I don't miss my prayers during uni time, or if I'm out, to pray anywhere. lay my mat and pray. They actually got a prayer area, which is very handy, but I like to bring my prayer mat because it's just mine, Yes, these are my Archer's essentials. My hoodie, my favourite one. See you around.
So those were Aya Abdul's Archer's Essentials. You can check out our YouTube page for more of that content and other content as well that we've been making on the Sports Broadcasting MSc here. But it's all about tonight's game. There's a 47-43 lead for the Essex Rebels. What are the Archers going to do?
Yeah, listen, just before the break, I think that they've got to change the way they play offense. I know that sounds like they scored 43, but they really slowed down towards the end of the quarter, and I think they were getting a little bit frustrated. They just take take these 15 minutes, reset themselves a little bit mentally, come up with a minor change or two. You don't have to reinvent your system. I think they'll find a little bit more success there.
And for the Archers, to have someone like Steph Collins as their coach, that's going to be a great person for them to lean on and learn from. So I'm sure that her experience is going to really help them out in the second half here.
Yeah, I'm 99% certain she's the most capped basketball player of any GBT men or women. And when I worked with her a couple of years ago, her knowledge was phenomenal, and I learned so much from her. And just in that 1 year, and I still love to talk to her about basketball. She, as a player, she's been and done it all. She's been here in South Wales for 15 years or so now, it seems. She was a phenomenal player, and she still has to come back, but her skills are brilliant, and her mind was even better. As a point guard, you've basically got to be a coach out on the floor, so it's very easy for her to transition to the sideline. She's been running around for years, so she can give great advice to some of these guys out there.
And from that first half of action now, obviously we're going to point out people like Mara Machazati, but Sarah Jorgensen in that first half was really probably the main influence for the Archers.
Yeah, I thought before the game that the three key players for the Archers are their three forwards. They've got Marley Ball, they've got Christina Bigicha, and they've got Mara Marcazzotti. And those guys are generally going to get their numbers, regardless, because that's the way the game goes. And it was about whose supporting cast could step up more. Could the Archers guards outdo the Essex guards? And I think Jorgensen's already outpaced her season average, and she didn't even have to do a lot. I think there's a thing, she picked up some easy cheap points, and I think when she gets into her rhythm a bit more and she can show what she can do, she could be on for a relatively big game, and it could be really key. She can get 15-16 points by the game's end. That could be the difference.
And we've already referenced that the Archers don't particularly have that much height, but when you look at some of their shorter players, Kim Kaying, Robin Lewis, they've also been showing off their speed and being really good. Kim Kaying in particular, especially with steals.
If you're the small team, you have to make sure you do something with your speed. Across the board last weekend, Riders are generally a taller team, and the Archers couldn't quite use their speed to their advantage. The exercise means that every shot you take is just a little bit easier to get off, and every shot you contest is a little bit more contested. You can be a bit more out of position and get every rebound. So if you're undersized, you've really got to work hard. And I think the speed that Robin Lewis was especially showing going full court, and then Kim Kyon was doing it a little bit more in the half court and on the weak side getting some steals. There's some really good stuff, and I think that's also key in fatiguing out the point guards. If you can get Colehouse and Big of the Rebels a little bit tired towards the fourth quarter, they're not going to have the steam required to finish the game strong. So I think if they can continue pushing up the floor, that could be a really important aspect in victory.
And you mentioned earlier that Essex averaging around 80 points per game. They're on course to beat that so far. What is the real secret, other than the obvious, the Angela Waith? What is the secret to their success?
They've got three really good shooters. Munn shoots 7 threes a game on 44% shooting average. So, when you're surrounded by people who are going to drain threes, it leaves you a decision as a defender. Am I going to go help on this driving threat and be 10 feet away from my attacker, or am I going to stick with my person because I know they're going to drain threes in my face, and am I going to leave the hoop a little bit more unguarded? And sometimes there's no right answer in those situations, and that's really key. If you've got great driving threats, you've got guards stationed around the perimeter who are going to knock down threes, and you've got a big threat like Costa, you've got to pick your poison. Which poison do you pick with a team of 5 players who are all averaging double digits?
And as well. The Archers, they've been looking to youth. They've got Karis Roy on the bench. They've also used players like Macy Hari, but Izzy Bunyan so far tonight. She came in, drained a 3 early on. That's really promising signs for not just her future, but potentially international future.
Yeah, Izzy's a great kid. I mentioned earlier, her father. You know, he's a great guy to have around and to learn from it. And Izzy's got all the tools. You know, she can handle the ball, and she does that a lot more in the National League level. So she gets to experience both the highest level. You know, she has to play a bit more of a role, and then she gets to go down and play National League Division 1. You know, just still a really good standard, and you know, she gets a little bit more, you know, on-ball experience with that. She's got great form, and she drained that 3, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it was a great shot, and you know, she's also quite tall and long, and that you can't teach size. It sounds obvious, but if you can't make someone grow taller. So if you've got size, it's a lot easier to get on court, and then you know, play well out there, and you build up your minutes gradually. And you know, she's got a great future ahead of her.
Well, it's been a great first half of action. Second half coming up. Just to let you guys know that this entire stream tonight is being run by the Sports Broadcasting Masters course here at Cardiff Met. Tom, you're a graduate, I'm a current student. If you want to get involved though, this is all you need to know. Take a look. Well, that is just a little bit of what we get up to on the Sports Broadcasting Masters. As I said earlier, Tom, you are a graduate of this course. What are you up to nowadays, though, other than commentating this tonight?
Yeah, I work for Glamorgan Cricket, so the professional cricket team in Wales. You know, I do quite a lot of things. I do social media during game days, and generally, you know, I help write press releases and do interviews, do a lot of marketing as well. So, you know, trying to sell tickets or events. And then last year we ran quite a high quality live stream because we couldn't have fans in and everything was behind closed doors. And so, you know, I took some of what I did here at Sport Broadcast and I'd met some of the people already that work with us, and I helped sort of design, as it were, that live stream and helped operate it. And I guess it's not just what I'm doing now, but some of the great things I did while I was on the broadcast course. You know, for my documentary, for my dissertation documentary, I went to Ukraine with the women's football team for Champions League, and I think going to the east of Ukraine is quite a unique experience. And then, you know, I went to Hong Kong Sevens to work on the production there, and you know, I did a bit of stuff with the Cardiff Devils, and I did some rugby and some football, and you know, I just think back and I think some of what you guys do on the course now is even better than what it was when I was doing my masters, and I would fully recommend the masters to anyone even slightly considering it. If all it takes is just a toss of a coin, then you might as well just do it anyway.
Well, anyone would think you've done your masters in sales. I'm sure Joe will be very happy to hear about that. I'm sure he'll slip you a few £10 notes later on for saying all that. But if you are interested in the course, you can always check out a bit more of our content. Just check our YouTube channel, or even just check us out on Twitter at Met Broadcast and also at CMet Sport TV. But back to tonight's game, only a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half of action. It's been a very, very exciting first half, as we've said. For the Essex Rebels, they've just been doing what they usually do. They're putting up a lot of points. What has been success though for the Archers? They don't usually score this many.
No, I think early on they picked up a few cheap ones, and when we say cheap ones, you know, it's a little scramble, maybe a poker steal. Early in the game, both sides are feeling each other out. You know, you can watch all the game tape you want, but until you're actually out there trying to play against what's going on and what the opposition like to do, it's really difficult. So normally early on, both teams feel each other out. If you while you're in this sort of attritional phase, if you can pick up a couple of cheap ones, you suddenly feel a lot better about yourself. And I think that's what happened for the Archers. They felt quite good about themselves, and suddenly they were all over Essex on the defensive end. And if you've got energy at both ends and you're getting steals, the live ball turnovers, I think, was part of the key there in the first half. If you chuck the ball out of bounds and it's a dead ball turnover, you've got time to get back, set up your defence. Essex like to do, they like to maybe play a funky zone. If you're turning the ball over live, you haven't got a chance to get back on defence. They're just going to go the other way. You're going to try to score quickly, and certainly you're behind the 8 ball.
They've done very well in terms of steals so far in the game, but one place that they maybe could improve is rebounds. Is that something that, especially with a player like D'Angelo Waite and Costa as well, they're really going to have to just box them out, try and get that, stop the Rebels from getting that second ball opportunity?
Yeah, that's something you always risk when you're a bit smaller. The Archers have always sort of historically struggled to they're not normally been tall, so normally struggle to rebound. I mean, they're using their height there to fix the hoop. Don't show the chair underneath. But even if you're small, you can still box out. That you can just about get away with that. You can be a little bit more physical if you're smaller. You can get away with it. So perhaps they need to just get a little bit more angry and aggressive in trying to box out and see how far they can push them back. If your bigs are doing the hard work in boxing out, the guards have got to come in and help out. And I think occasionally they showed that, but they seem to show it more at the offensive end. If for Marcasotti and I'm boxing out, I want the guard to come in and get that rebound for me because I've done the hard work. If the guard gets the rebound, you've got a bit more speed going the other way.
Well, we might need to fill for a couple more minutes here now. There's a bit of an issue with the backboard down one end of the court. So, Tom, let's just pick your brain. You're a fountain of knowledge of basketball. What can you tell us about your role with Basketball Wales?
Yeah, there's no pressure there, fountain of knowledge. So in 2016, I started assisting James Dorr with the Wales under-18 women because we were already. He was head coach of the National League women here in Cardiff at Cardiff Archers, and I was his assistant. And then I joined him on the 18s, and it became 20s and 23s women's. We played games against Scotland under-18s up in Edinburgh, and then we hosted Ireland here. After we weren't continuing with that, I spoke to the head coach of the senior men's team. I'd come help out at their practices. I'd do a little bit of performance analysis. I'd referee. Plenty of the Archers guys that I now coach play for them. James Banfield, who also now coaches out in Malta at De Piro, BC, and if he's watching, I hope he appreciates that shout out. I just spoke to him about getting involved. I wanted to keep working at international level. They played WBBL fixtures, WBBL Cup. We played London City Royals, the most expensive team of all time, and the coronavirus shortened season's top team in Glasgow Rocks. We faced them, and it's a really good learning curve. There's something to be said for just working with the best players you can, or against the best players you can. You learn a lot from seeing what other teams do, and we've been asked to do another cycle, and we've got some plans, and we've got a really exciting young core of players coming through. They go off to the States. They might come back at Christmas or in the summer. Someone like a Johnny Hall, who's a 7-footer, who came out of Ipswich and he's in the States, or the Gordos brothers. They're really exciting young Welsh talents, and it's a privilege to work with them when we can.
Well, I think that filled a bit of time. Luckily, the backboard is fixed, so we don't have to fill for too much more. We won't be too far away from the start of the second half of action. But before we go into that one, still a bit more time. Robin Lewis, captain of the Archers, what is she going to be saying to her teammates?
Yeah, she's sort of relentlessly positive. She brings that energy. She's like Duracell bunny, she'll never stop. And she want to make sure her teammates, not only they're happy, but they stay focused as well. It's really important that even if you can't throw the first punch in this half, you make sure that you come out and you give yourself a good showing and you don't let your head get down. And she's been like that for years. I coached against her when she was playing for Pride, and she played at Leicester Riders before that with some great players, and she's played for her national team. She's a really experienced player despite her young age. And she's played a lot of basketball, and she's got a really unique talent in her defensive speed. Again, like you said about can't teach size, there's only so much you could do to improve someone's speed, and she is absolutely rapid, and it's a great tool that was used against me once, and now she's using it to great effect for the Archers in this game.
Well, we are only about 30 seconds out from the start of the second half. The best dressed referees in sport are just about ready to get things underway. Teams are huddling up. 47-43, the Essex Rebels lead over the Cardiff Met Archers. 2 weeks ago, it was all tied against Oakland. Should be a fascinating second half. I'm expecting the speed to just continue to rise.
Yeah, when you come in from half-time, as a coach, you spend the first few minutes working out, right, what's gone wrong? We'll go chat to the players, but you basically always finish saying, throw the first punch, or whatever your terminology you want to use. But basically, you want to get off to the flyer in the third quarter. And especially if you're 4 points down, it's not a lot, but it's 2 minutes away from being a 15-point game. But you really want to come out, throw that first punch, and reassert yourself as the top team in the clash.
And we are back underway. Second half action, 47-43, the Essex Rebels lead. Archers looking to cut into that early, but that's not going to do it for them. Archers have the chance, first possession, to get themselves back within at least 2.
It's a good shot. It's an open shooter, shoots 40% on 5 a game. Just didn't go down, but you're roughly happy with that.
Wait there, just a mishandle, turns that one over, looks very frustrated with herself, but I think after the first half that she had, she can make a couple of mistakes.
She's got really high standard of herself. You're only going to see, she played in 2018-19 for Essex. She was their second top scorer in the league, and then she went off to play in Spain, and she averaged a double-double in Spain, and so she's driving herself on, and I don't think she'll be happy with finishing with 18 points.
Archers back with the ball now. Robin Lewis finds Marchesotti. Marchesotti is looking for options, goes low, tries for the layup, can't get it to go. Something that we saw happen 2 weeks ago. I think we went about 4 minutes without a point. I'm not sure that's going to happen in the second half here now.
No, and we'll see a lot of that from Essex. Almost like a little pitch pass that you might see in rugby or American football. They'll have Waith just sort of come sprinting towards the ball. They'll hand it, or they'll just flip it off to it, and then you've got to try and deal with, a very athletic Waith just flying at you straight down the middle of the floor.
Archers with possession after a great fight for the ball by Robin Lewis. Marchesotti puts that one out off the rims, not going to go. Really kept possession of that one, but that one does go out.
You look again at who's fighting for that rebound. You've got Kiernan there, who's certainly not the tallest of players, but when your guards are showing that sort of relentless energy, you're coming in off the bench and you're seeing that, you can't not do the same thing.
Yeah, King tonight, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals as well. Not been getting much on the board, but she's certainly been helping her teammates out where she can. As the Rebels try that one, Colehouse puts up a 3, doesn't get it, but gets her own rebound. Great battle from her.
Yeah. And here comes the 1-2-2 full court press. Well, I've spoken about that at half time. You see, Waith is so long and athletic. So the call there's an 8-second call. They didn't get the ball over in the required time. A lot of contact going on there, and bodies flying around all over the place. And when you're like that, and we saw Coach Sads over there, coaches are getting into the game, players are getting into the game. Those are sort of the exceptionally difficult moments to referee from any other point of view.
But it was just good press from the Rebels as well to force that one. Playing very, very high, stopping the Archers from getting that quick transition game going.
Yeah, Waith plays the top of their 1-2-2 full court press, and she's so long and athletic. It's really difficult to pass around her, and they bring that second player to double team whenever they can. A double team in theory is good. It means that you should have more players elsewhere than the opposition, but it's really difficult to pass out of, and it's a little bit of a mental thing as well. And Essex are an aggressive team across the board. That's great defense from Lewis in there. She goes straight up, she's vertical. So even if there's contact, she's staying within her cylinder. That's really good defense, and it's not easy to stay vertical when you get hit.
Bigager now, she's come into the game off the bench. She's been absolutely perfect for the Archers. Marchesotti puts that one up, trying to get their first points of the quarter, but nothing coming there. 49-43, the Rebels lead with just under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter here. It's been low scoring compared to the rest of the game.
And then we see again, they're fronting Waith, which means that they've got a really good shooter in the weak side corner, and they're going to do what they can to, if you front, the help has to come across, and then there's a skip pass, and they did it earlier in the game, and they're going to try and keep doing it.
And the Rebels will keep possession here now. Munns with the put in.
Again, two Archers boxing out, and they're both boxing out so hard, the ball bounces, no one comes to get after it.
That's Colehouse. Costa. And that will extend the lead for the Rebels. They've had a very, very good start, very energetic start. And again, it's that press. Archers running out of time. Nothing they can really do there.
Yeah, there's going to be a time out there. I think the problem is the Archers getting themselves stuck right in the corner of the floor. And if you're not taller than the opposition, you can't just pass over them. So, Robin Lewis is getting double teamed there, and she's got a much taller waist, and I think it might have been Big on the far side who was also double teaming there. The key is to not get yourself stuck into those corners where you've got no escape from. If you can try and stay as much in the middle of the floor and not pick up your dribble, those are the keys. If you've got any choices, or if you pick up your dribble and you're stuck and you can't dribble out of it, that's exactly what Essex are after.
And after that as well, they get the three. It's 54-43. They lead right now. You can see on that play, Lewis just boxed herself into a corner. She just had to try and get that ball across, otherwise it's an 8-second violation again. In the end, just goes straight into the arms of the Rebels. And they say thank you very much. Drain the three, 7-0. They lead in this third quarter, 54-43 overall. Timeout has got to be effective there for the Archers.
Yeah, it's very difficult when you're trying to inbound the ball in a bit of a hectic game to sometimes remember exactly what you're supposed to do to beat the press. So they'll have discussed it and they'll have their plans and they'll know where they're supposed to stand. But in the heat of the moment, it's not always possible to remember, and I guess that's what separates the really top tier sides, is they're always mentally on it. So here the Rebels have switched to 2-2-1, which is more what the men have run that I've faced before, and it's a similar thing. So it's a really great set of adjustments from Coach Sadler. It makes it very difficult to predict what's going to happen.
Kane, great look at the three, doesn't go, but manages to track it down, get her own rebound, keep this alive for the Archers. Bigature at the top here now, tries to bounce past the March study. Kane with another attempt, 3 points, gets it.
Yeah, she deserved that one. The ball will come back round if you do good things, and then she's earned those points.
She's been great at helping out her teammates, gets herself on the scoreboard there with her three. She's, like we said earlier, she is one of the better three-point shooters for the Archers, but there is a bit of concern here now as D'Angelo Waith is down.
Yeah, just a little bit of a hard landing. Bigature get caught the wrong side again. I think ideally you're trying to come round from sort of the middle of the floor round and deny rather than the way around that she came, and that's what's cost the Archers so far. Is they seem to keep coming from the wrong side, and it's not easy. You can't just go where you want. They're going to try and post you up. They're going to try and get position. But if you want to stop Waith, that's what you got to do.
Well, luckily for the Rebels, doesn't look so she's feeling too many ill effects after that when she's back on the court and looking to get involved, but the Archers will come the other way. Robin Lewis here across the Kane, just got that three to get the Archers on the board in this half. 54-46 the Essex Rebels lead here. Jorgensen, she was great in that first half. Can she continue it in the second? Lewis up top, got Bigature outright. She's going to take it herself. Marchesati puts that one up, and that will count.
Yeah, so it's another long offence, and I think that's probably more a good sign for the Rebels right now. It doesn't look like the Archers are turning down decent shots to get great shots here. They're really struggling to find some of those good shots. The Rebels are doing a nice job of taking away Marchesati's post-ups.
Waith with another rebound, trying to double-double in the first half. Can she repeat that success?
It's the same thing as Kian. You make your own luck sometimes. She go in and got that rebound, she gets the three.
Bigature called for a travel there. Looks like she may have just about recovered, but referees say different.
Yeah, there's a late call as well. I think as a coach, you're not happy with that if they're going to let the ball go, and then because you could perceive it because they've kicked up a little bit of a fuss. It happens sometimes. It just takes a while as a ref to recognise if the play was okay or not. I think that's one of those ones that didn't look right, and sometimes if you're 50-50, if it doesn't look right, you're probably safe to call it.
House now driving hard, taken by Bigature, but that will go out.
It's great help there. She's got herself in front of Waith. She's given no angle for the pass. She's unlucky not to pick up the ball there. The Archers are struggling to get around the Rebels' screens here. They're a very physical team, and they're taking some bumps out there trying to get around the screens.
Waith can't get that one to go. Bigature over-committed to try and get that steal and left Waith a little bit of time to get that shot off, but Archers get a break there. She can't get it to go.
No, I think that shows the importance of making sure you get the defensive rebound.
Lovely spin move from King. She's been very good in the first half of helping her team. This time, getting the points herself. Very, very impressive. Marchessotti stops Waith from getting a 2, but she'll still have a 2 chance here.
And that's the 3rd foul on Marchessotti. So you're probably not at the point where you're Steph Collins that you think she's got to start the game, but she's got to make those last 2 fouls. Those 2 fouls last the next 15 minutes.
7 points separate the sides in this one. Waith with a chance of making it 9 here. There's one. Can't get the second though. 8 points between the sides here. Bigature looking for Marchessotti, but a poor pass in the end. Essex straight away take possession.
The lack of composure there, I think, was the issue. And you've got to make sure it doesn't come back to haunt you. You know, the Rebels want you to speed up, and the Archers like to play cross occasionally, but it's more about all season they've been saying we need to play at our speed. If you get to Essex's up and down game, you know, you're not going to be able to keep up because they are just going to outscore you.
Lewis gets a rebound here. Archers continue with possession. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Jorgensen up top here. Driving down low. Can she get it away? No, she can't. Waith with another rebound.
It's a pretty decent look, and it looks like they have made a slight adjustment there, you know, against that ice pick and roll coverage that we talked about. Marchessotti changes the direction of their screen, and it just gives Jorgensen a little bit more of a runway.
Rebound down one end, rebound down the other for Waith, and she gets 2 as a result as well. 60-50 the score here now.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty straightforward call for the referee there. This looks like Colehouse was just a little bit late getting across. She hadn't established good enough position. I think she was trying to get to the sideline there, take a stand, use the sideline as the extra defender, but she just couldn't get there in time.
Both sides making a couple of changes here now. Archers with possession. 3:52 to go in the 3rd quarter of action. Robin Lewis with possession here now. Looking for someone to get open for her. Tries to go around Marchessotti across the Marley ball. Drives through. Can't quite get it. The Archers can't get the rebound to go either.
There are a couple of easy points that have been there for the taking over the last couple of possessions. They've not quite made the most of it, and those are the moments that you can identify for the game as were they game-changing. The Archers have got to hope that those missed layups don't come back to haunt them.
It was similar to what they did 2 weeks ago coming out in the 3rd quarter against Oakland. There's a couple of looks where you think that they've definitely got the chance to get the points, but it just goes wanting. So they're going to want to change their fortunes here with just over 13 minutes left in the game.
And when the Archers don't score an awful lot, you've got to take those opportunities.
Maybe that will spark the Marley ball with a 3. 7 points separate the sides now.
Yeah, I think Smart's a good word. She is a bit of a spark plug. You know, she'll come in whenever she does. You know, whether she starts, comes in off the bench, comes back into the game, and she will try and make things happen. That's what she does.
Just about gets her hand in the way just to disrupt D'Angelo Waith there as well. It looked as though her and Lewis had just got themselves tangled up a little bit.
Yeah, and the same thing again there with Colehouse. She's I think she started the possession a little bit close. So she's going to be called for the blocking foul there. And it's got a good play by Jorgensen. She feels the defender really close to her. She tries to go past her. You're either going to get past her or it's going to commit a foul. And if neither of those things happen, then there's just phenomenal defense.
Well, 7 points separate the two sides. 2:45 to go in the 3rd quarter of action here now. It's been a bit more of a cagey quarter, I'd say, compared to the first.
Yeah, I think that sort of comes down to you see what happens in the first half. You know the areas where you need to improve, and it's sometimes just a little bit easier to stop the opposition doing what they want to do than it is for you to try and do what you want to do a little bit better. So, if you look at the opposition and how they're trying to score, it's a little bit easier for you to take that away than for you to make the adjustments on the offensive end. And I think that's probably what we're seeing out here.
Well, Steph Collins talking to a team now, obviously trying to get their offense to spark a little bit. They do have 10 points in this quarter. They need to get themselves something a bit more because Essex, they've been very, very impressive. But to credit to the Archers, it looks though Essex could maybe start running away with it earlier on. They've managed to find some sort of a response, but not enough, it seems.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it just keeps you in the game for now. It keeps you in the game while you're not playing too well, and then it gives you an opportunity to come out again after a timeout or a quarter break and go, right, this is what we need to do, let's go do it.
Jorgensen up to Marley Ball. Waste covering her. Ball across to Jorgensen as well. Using that speed, drives low. Can't get it to go though, just rolls away from the net. Like we said earlier, those are those chances that you might look back on and think, if that went, would it have been different?
Well, I don't think that's good play from White there. She really contests that hard. Jorgensen's on her weaker hand, she's got a lot of momentum. It's not going quite towards the hoop, but I think that's good defence from White to force that miss. There's a great box out from Marcus Otti there. She's stopped Costa from going after it. Someone else comes in and cleans up the ball. That's how it's supposed to work.
Something that the Archers could have potentially done a little bit more in the first half, especially a couple of times the Rebels were allowed more or less to get their rebounds. Marcus Otti down the other end gets the 2, 5 points in it now. It's a lot better from the Archers in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and that bounce pass from Shanahan, she just fired that straight between the two defenders. It's a really good pass. And it's something that she likes to do. She's not someone who's just going to try and put her head down and go to the rim. She wants to pass to other people.
Waith looked contested, made it look easy though.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. When you're not the tallest, like Laura Shanahan, it's going to be tough to get up and block that. But you've got to try and put them off when you can. And the Archers here struggling to break it down against the zone. They're looking for the high post flash. But it's not quite working. They're kicked by Haynes.
Well, there's 1:09 to go in the third quarter. There's 7 points in it. Izzy Bunyan comes in. Steph Collins seems to trust Izzy Bunyan a lot to come in these situations. She's young, but she's showing a lot of potential.
It's very difficult sometimes to get the balance, and she obviously thinks she can contribute really well, because a lot of times when you have a youngster, you think, right, I'll put them in if the game's not close towards the end, and they don't really benefit from that because it's not quite the same intense experience that they need.
It's Christina Bigica. That's just two there.
Just to go back to Bunyan there, she's obviously showing that she can do what's needed, and the experience of playing in these tight games is far more valuable for her now than it is to play in blowouts.
Very, very good point. She's going to be getting herself involved as the Rebels lead 62-57 inside the final 60 seconds of this third quarter. The Archers, if they can end strong, they can get this one very close.
Yeah, so that's exactly what you want to do against the zone. They're looking for Bigica at the high post. They went to Marley Ball in the low post. It's an easy shot for her. They didn't really put a lot of pressure on. Maybe a little bit worried about the pass.
That's a great response though from the Rebels. The Archers pulled 2 back. They put a 3 up, 65-59. 15 seconds to go in this one.
Yeah, Big's a great shooter. She's 38% on her 5 a game.
Shanahan gets one late. 2 points that will count for, so there's 4 points to separate the two sides. After a very high scoring first half, seemed to be a little bit more cagey in the third quarter, but that sets up a very, very exciting and tight finish in the fourth.
Yeah, I think we saw towards the end of that quarter that it got a little bit like the first half. They got a little bit up and down a bit more with a bit more speed. The Rebels not looking too pleased in that time out. I think they think that they had a chance to really get ahead there and make the make them impervious to run from the Archers, because this game is delicately poised. Sometimes it's all about who makes the last run, but if you can get yourself ahead by enough that a run doesn't matter, that's what the Rebels would have been looking to do, and it's something they've struggled to do in a lot of recent games. They've been up, but not by a lot, and they're quite close, and I think that they're going to come out again like they did in the start of the third, but they're really going to try and make it count this time. They're going to say, right, we can win the game in these next 3.5, 4 minutes if we do what we need to do.
Well, at one point, the Rebels had 7 points to nothing with the Archers, but that quarter there, that ends 18 all for the Rebels. What exactly was it that allowed the Archers to get in, or was it just the Archers woke up?
I think it's not far off the Archers waking up, to be fair. I think they just sort of slowed. You can play fast, but you can't hurry, and that's something that James Doyle I've worked with says a lot, is be quick or be fast, but don't hurry. And I think they started to play at the tempo they wanted to, which is still quite fast, but their minds were pretty clear in what they wanted to do. You know, they made their decisions a little bit better. They found the right people. They got the ball where they need to, and yeah, they knocked down a couple of shots. And sometimes that's all the game comes down to, is just you can create all the good looks you want, but can you stick the ball in the hoop from 20 feet away?
Well, we are back underway now. 10 minutes to go. 4 points separate the sides. Costa puts it out wide to Munns. 3 goes up, doesn't go. Lewis. She's got Laura Shanahan open, finds her. Waite does a good job to try and disrupt that one, but Shanahan's not going to miss from there.
No,
2 points.
That's a really good finish with Waite under pressure. She kind of stung her feet a little bit just to let her know she was coming, and she really held her composure well.
There's great vision as well by Robin Lewis to recognise her late. Bunyan tries to get the block, but instead it's tripped to the line for the Rebels.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with that call there. But the problem, I mean, they allowed middle penetration. They allowed them to drive straight down the middle, and that confuses your help a bit. But also, the only person that could have helped was Marley Ball, and she was trying to stop Costa from catching it. So, you know, she's in an almost impossible situation there.
Well, first one doesn't go for Andrea Colehouse. Got a chance to extend it to a 3-point lead, though. And she can't on that one. Waste with the rebound, though. But Bunyan, great steal, good fight to get the ball.
That's just great. That's great hands. You know, they shouldn't have let Waite get the ball in the first place. I think maybe slightly too focused on trying to get the rebound. But once she comes down with it, brilliant hands from Bunyan there. That's a really good play. And it gets her team the ball back, and then off they go.
And Steph Collins is going to be very, very impressed with the contributions of one of the youngest members of her squad. Bagicha goes up, gets it 2. We're all tied up, and a chance for the Archers to take the lead here for the first time in this half.
Yeah, and if you've watched a few Archers games, that is a very, very familiar pattern. Bagicha's got size, so you've got to put someone who's a little bit bigger on her to stop her having her way. But she's got the speed to just drive past people, and she's finished a lot of right-hand down ones over her years here.
Can't get it to go, so we remain tied, but it is Archer's ball still. 9:10 to go. 65-65. Definitely shaping up to be a very exciting finish to this WBBL game.
An attempt to thread the pass there from Shanahan, it's not quite come off. And then that's always the risk you take when you try and throw passes that you think can lead to guaranteed points. You've got to take the gamble of whether it's a turnover or not, and whether you want to do that.
Lewis does very well to find someone open there, but in the end,
it's very good composure from Lewis. You wait to see where the gap is, and then she throws a pass, and it looks like, yeah, it's going to be a turnover on ball there. She just got a little bit ahead of herself, trying to get down the floor and create a scoring opportunity, but that was a lot better from the Archers in trying to break that full court press.
It looked initially as though they're going to give the ball back to the Archers, but very, very good officiating by the referees here, just to consult on that one, just to try and come to the correct decision. To me, it did look as though it was a turnover.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. If you're a referee, you don't want to double down on your mistake. And if you're an opposing coach, and I've seen it, you know, when it goes my way when it shouldn't, and you think you'd probably rather that they just take their time, have a quick chat. And if you know you've made a mistake, you can also just go to the other ref and say, yeah, I missed that one, I'm going to change it. You know, and it helps control the game a bit as well, and I think that was really good officiating. Yeah, I agree. They're just making sure that the shot clock, obviously the rules about changes of possession and front courts and back courts is always good for the table officials to make sure that they've got the right number on there.
And after that brief pause, back underway, 8:37 to go.
So a foul called on Bunyan there for the stand, moving forwards just a little bit in the double team. And I think the question would be, is that any different to what Costa was doing earlier in the game? It's always the risk when you double team and you're aggressive, and it's whether you want to take that gamble.
Rebels moving around with speed and now Waith. Finds Costa up top to Munns, completely wide open, drains a three. Rebels back in the lead here.
Yeah, she's missed a few too many by quite some distance. Oh, this is phenomenal passing, but she's missed a few too many by a bit too much distance. She wasn't going to miss that one.
Yeah, left completely wide open, gives the Rebels the lead again here. Bunyan puts that one up. Not going to go, but Marley Ball.
Taken out of her hands by her teammate. Sometimes you just want someone to put a name on it.
Initially gets that one, but the Rebels come back the other way. Munns again open, tries for the three, can't get it, but Costa with a rebound. Can't get that one, but Munns. That's 3 in a row that the Rebels have missed, 4 in a row.
Coach Collins is just, you can't be happy with that at all. It's not a case necessarily of just being out-jumped and having the ball go day, and after a couple of offensive rebounds, you need someone to just get it. You want someone to just come flying in out of nowhere if necessary. And Marcuzzotti back in the game with Costa's size causing them a few problems.
Yeah, I think when you have that many looks, you're going to want to bury at least one of them. The Rebels missing out on a chance to extend the lead, but they still have the ball here now. They've still got time, 7:37 to go in the game. They can extend it on this possession. Colehouse driving low. Munn, she's been very effective in the fourth so far. Costa.
That's a moving screen call on Munns there. She just stuck she put her arms in, she just stuck them out a little bit into Marcuzzotti. Looks like it's into the upper chest neck area. And if you're going to set a screen, you've got to be very still, stay in your cylinder. You've got to accept sometimes being run over if you're going to set a screen on someone that size.
For the Rebels, they can't be happy with that. 4 looks, nothing going from it, and the turnover just allows the Archers to get possession and potentially tie this one up again.
Yeah, it's kind of infuriating as a coach to see your players get those easy looks and not convert them. It makes you lose your hair prematurely.
The first attempt doesn't go for the Archers. We've got 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Jorgensen under pressure.
Really good defense by Munns there to deny the ball and make that catch a lot more difficult and a lot later in the shot clock. Really good work there from Munns.
Munns back with the ball here now. Colehouse.
Great block by Ball. All clean. She stays straight up, and then right at the end she just flicks her hand out. That's really good defense. If you're staying in your cylinder and you just get a tap on the ball at the end, yeah, it's really good work from Ball, and you've got to be happy with that.
Costa with the ball up high now, looking for options on Munns. Munns has been very heavily involved in this fourth quarter now. Colehouse.
And I think you just have to look at the reaction there from the bench. You've got Steph Collins congratulating her and pointing it out. You've got Shannon Hatch there. You can just see, just in the left of your screen, she's really encouraging her teammates. She can't be out there because she's such a positive character and good influence on the team.
Kim King tries the 3, but that's not going to go.
Well, standing and watching there, I think they thought that it would maybe perhaps hit the back or the top. If it hits just straight on the side, you could have keep playing. And just unfortunate that she went to get the rebound, the ball bounced on the end line.
Well, 6:26 to go in the game here now. Only 3 points separate them. The Archers have had a good start to the fourth. Rebels have had a couple of looks. Munns can't get that one to go. Waith will get the rebound though. Can't get that one to go as well. Something that the Rebels are doing isn't working. They've had several looks in a row now that they haven't been able to convert.
Yeah, I think it's some nice straight defence again there from Jorgensen and then Marcuzzotti getting a hand on it. And I think when you've got that discipline defensively to not commit that foul when the opposition are desperate for it, that's really good work. Perhaps just one out of frustration there for ball. Her shot didn't, miss by a little bit, and one of those ones where you're going to go and either get the ball or get someone. And well, it's not ideal. It does show the sort of the fire and the energy that they play with, and it's one of those ones where you've got to try and get them not do it. But sometimes it's a case of hold your hand, Brett.
Munns with possession here now for the Rebels. Rebels, bit of a scoreless run at the moment. They need to get that to change, extend their lead. Waith.
And that team defence, you've got to say that's exceptional. They're denying passes. They had some great pick and roll stuff there. They did a really, really good job there.
Neither side can really get themselves on the board here now. The Rebels, they've had a few looks in a row that haven't gone through, but the Archers, they're not responding to this.
It feels like it's been a 3-point game for some time, and that's probably, it's a good sign for the Archers. It's not getting away. They'd have liked to play a couple away, but as long as you're staying in it, you can change around a 3-point game in the last 12 seconds. So you're going to be okay with this.
Looking for Marchesati, but well covered from Costa there, and the Rebels will take possession with 4:45 to go. They lead by 3.
Just getting a little bit cramped in the middle of the floor there.
Begica with a great bit of defensive work there to stop that from getting to Waith.
Just a little bit of cross wires in transition there. People not running quite the right lanes that they should. It kind of closed off the space for Lewis there.
Looks like Costa could have potentially got that first one. It looks like they're potentially rushing those shots a little bit.
Yeah, and I think Begica's picked up a flop warning there. She felt that she'd been sort of unfairly held there by Costa, but the referee's disagreeing with that one. And it means the next time anyone flops from the Archers, there'll be a technical foul. The refs didn't feel like that contact was fair. And the frustration getting the better of Begica there as she picks up the technical foul for continuing to talk to the refs and probably not in the most constructive way. And that's her 5th. She's going to be out of the game. And that one, she's just picked up 2 fouls in quick succession there. And that technical foul is going to mean that she can't play for the rest of the game, and that's probably quite a big loss for the Archers. She's one of the few players that can handle Waith's physicality. And the next 4 minutes 10 seconds without her is going to be really difficult.
Yeah, it's going to put a lot more pressure on Marley Ball now. She's been the other person who's been covering D'Angelo Waith in this one.
I think they're going to have to change to a more team-focused tactic here. I think they're probably not going to be able to play Marley Ball straight up on Waith, because Waith's got just probably a little bit too much height and upper body strength on ball. So they're going to have to look to maybe continue to front, have people in the help like they've been doing pretty well on, but they've just got to make sure their closeouts are perfect at this point, because they are going to be struggling. Apologies. And then we're going to need to make sure that they box out. If you're not going to box out and go get the ball, especially with this small lineup, the starting lineup, they're going to be in trouble if they can't get those rebounds.
Well, it's been a bit of a scoreless run. The Rebels got a chance to get one here. Munns will finally break the deadlock. 4-point game here. 69-65 with 4:10 to go.
One free shot for the technical without any sort of other game consequences apart from the score, and then they're going to line up for the traditional free throws.
After all of that, the Rebels come out 3 points to the good. 71-65 they lead heading into the final 4 minutes here.
I think the clock hasn't started, so they're going left it down. It's just starting catching up. I think we're going to look back on that as a key moment.
But that's a good response from Marley Ball just to get 2 back for them. This is where the scoring really needs to open up for both sides. The Rebels, they've got the lead, they've got 4 points to the good here now. They can really start to try and just wind this clock down and also continue to take control of this one. The Archers, they're the ones who really need to get something going as much as Zotti's taken some contact up high there.
Yeah, just as she stepped in for the help, she got clipped and she's been smashed right in the face there. I just wanted to talk quickly about the situation with Waith. She's trying to post up there, trying to front. It's causing someone to come across, and there's going to be wide open spaces on the other side, but they're doing quite a good job of fronting.
Yeah, March Zotti's down, holding her nose at the moment. Looks like she's caught one right there. Seems very, very much in discomfort there. For the Archers, they're going to hope that's just something that's just stung her for a moment and it's not going to keep her out for too long.
Yeah, she is probably going to be their most important player from here on in. So if she's not in the game, that's her struggle. You know, she's not necessarily shot the ball particularly well today, but her size has really caused a few issues. That Essex have really focused on her defensively, like Coach Sadler said he was going to at the start. But it's also the rebounding that we've spoken about all game is going to be very much a massive issue if Marchezzotti's not out there.
Well, for now, the Archers will have to do without Marchezzotti as well as Christina Begica. Bunyan comes in, Marley Ball across to Jorgensen.
They're probably going to have to change what they run, given how much of it is focused on post-ups from Marchezzotti and Begica.
Robin Lewis somehow manages to get that one to go. It looks as though there was a bit of a speculative effort, but it counts 73-69 here, and the Archers will get possession again.
It came down with snow on it, but if it goes to the hoop, who cares? Kian doing a great job on the far side there, making sure that she's causing that turnover and she's getting the job done defensively.
Bunyan now 4-point game, 3:05 to go here. They can't get that one to go. D'Angelo Waith was probably about her 100th rebound.
She gets it done at both ends there, and she comes off the dribble handoff again, and it's so difficult to stop. Potentially a block there by Bunyan. She used that length really well. She got there as Waith was going for the turnaround jump shot. Not much you can do to change once you're taking a turnaround jump shot. And so there was really good defense from Bunyan there. I'm going to see that one again, but I think that could be a block. Bunyan leads the charge there, gets the steal. You see two Archers players on the floor. They really want this one. When you've got players hitting the deck, that shows you how much they want it, and especially to be led by like that. But by two youngsters is really, really great to see.
The Archers' compete level can't be questioned in this one. Izzy Bunyan as well. She's not played too many minutes. In fact, she's played close to 10 minutes in this game actually. 3 points for her. As such a young player. She's going to have a lot of confidence coming out of this one.
Plus minus isn't a perfect stat, but she's got the highest plus for the team. She's on +8, which means that the Archers are 8 points better off while Bunyan's been on court, and I think that's probably been backed up by the eye test.
After a trip to the line, it's 2 points better off for Essex. 75-69 coming into the final 2 minutes of this one. The Archers still battling for this one, still without Marchezzotti as well. She's still receiving some treatment. Jorgensen can't get that one, but gets the rebound. Lewis across the Bunyan. She can't get it to go either. Archers starting to run out of time here now, but
I potentially would like to have seen one of Lewis or Jorgensen being a little bit more selfish there. And it's a moving screen by Costa, and she's just sliding her feet as the screener. Sorry, and you've got to be dead still. You've got to give someone a chance to get round. If you're sliding and there's no chance to get round, the referee's going to call that, especially with the angle that the referee was at, basically looking at that straight on. That's quite a straightforward one.
Pretty much right in front of the referee. They're not going to miss too many of them. A minute 45 to go. 6 points separate the two sides now. Ball goes up, gets a three.
That is a massive three. To just bring it back to a 3-point game, she's coming off the movement there, and to be shooting that on the move and making that is exceptional work.
Well, we're nearly inside the final 90 seconds. There's only 3 points in it. The Archers, they need to try and play clean though.
Archers in team fouls, and Rebels were only committed 2. If the score was the other way around and Rebels were down, they might be slightly concerned about not having enough fouls, but if they need to play the fouling game, Archers are in a good position already. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is to be debated.
Runs with a lot of speed there, manages to find Waith with bounce pass just away from Costa though.
And guess who's doing the great defensive work again? We've said her name a lot, but Izzy Bunyan did a really good job there, just getting round on Costa, making sure that it was an easy catch, and there was help behind just in case she did it, and that's a really good defensive possession yet again for the Archers.
Oh, we're near the final 60 seconds now. There's only 3 points in it in this game. Lewis looks like the ball was going to Marley ball, but Lewis gets it, trying to get past Waith, jumps up, gets the foul though. She can pull it back to 1.67 seconds to go.
She was just clipped by Waith on the way through, and Lewis, 90% free throw shooter. Just a change of balls at every free throw and an opportunity to make sure they get cleaned by the wardens on the side of the court.
The first one doesn't go. There'll still be a 2-point game with this one, and it is 67 seconds to go.
And there's no real foul trouble for the Rebels. Costa's on 3 and Colhouse is on 2, but other than that, they can afford to play their starters without worrying.
It's good hustle from Kim Kang just to try and get herself involved and try and get that steal, but she can't quite get it. Does a good job otherwise, but the Rebels will continue with possession. Costa.
Bunyan comes across for the block, but the trail referee calls it. Looks like he called it on Jorgensen rather than Bunyan. Bunyan's looked clean, but perhaps Jorgensen just had a hand in the cookie jar as well.
This one counts.
Costa a 72% free throw shooter on 3 a game, so you're sort of thinking she's probably more likely to make 2, but who knows in the clutch.
And the second one will go as well.
It's always worth trying to jinx, you never know. Those are really important free throws. It just gives you a little bit of a cushion, and it's a massive confidence booster. If you can hit clutch free throws, that's sort of one of the tells of a clutch player is can they hit free throws. And then she was clutch against Riders when Rebels ended Riders' epic 13-month 14-game win streak. She hit a couple of clutch shots and the final big shot, and she proved again she's got that gene.
Well, it gives Essex a bit of breathing room with 56.1 to go in this contest. 4-point lead for Essex. The Archers, they're not out of this one yet, though.
No, I think you don't have to rush. You don't have to try and take a 3 very quickly and like that. Even if you run a full offense, you've still got time to have a go at a steal or a trap. This is the sort of situation where it's really important not to panic. A minute is still a relatively long period of time, and especially when you're one decent drive and pass away from someone being in a position to make it a 1-point game, and then maybe Rebels start to feel the pressure a little bit about being up a bit, and you just got to make sure that you try and keep your composure in these situations. Steph Collins there, a veteran of both coaching and playing, and she's probably been in quite a few games. I can think of a few games I've been in with her where 4 points has been turned around, and sometimes 4 points is nowhere near being turned around.
Chance from Kane goes up, manages to jump on her rebound as well. She's been absolutely excellent. Another attempt from Marley Ball, but that one's not going to go. The Rebels are in no rush at all, it seems.
So it's great work from Marley Ball there. She misses the shot, but she comes straight in, gets two hands on the ball, and that's got to be a jump ball straight away, and the Archers are getting it. I imagine that Coach Collins said, if you're missing, you're going in there, you're trying to get the steal or the jump ball, and they've done exactly what they're after. They're not going to use a timeout here. They're going to still have 14 seconds. There's a change of possession in the front court, but they're just going to run what they run and see what they can do.
Marley Ball trying to get past the Angela Waith.
And then Waith just looks to bring her arms down and go for the block, and it's always a gamble, and especially with 36.7 seconds left, it is always a gamble to go for those blocks. It can be, you can either put your team out of sight, or you can risk 2 free throws and a little bit of pressure.
Oh, Marley Ball with a chance to make this a little bit closer. 36.7 to go. Can't get the first one, no.
Yeah, just short on that, perhaps a little bit of fatigue creeping in.
Make this a 3-point game with this, though. But she can't. But Robin Lewis straight in there to get that one.
Lewis just stepping out of bounds there, right in the corner of the court. Under pressure from Waith. It's going to be Essex ball, and Archers looking like they're going to go full court and try and get a steal or a trap going here, force a turnover of some form.
Good vision from Costa to send Munns down court with speed. Can't get that one to go. Archers got a chance here now. Marley Ball, but the Rebels doing very well in transition defense to get back with speed, stop any fast break. 19 seconds to go in this one. 4 points still is the difference. Robin Lewis to Marley Ball. Inside the final 10 seconds, Archer's starting to run out of time. Jorgensen puts that one up, isn't gonna go. The Rebels will take this one.
I think it's some really good defense from the Rebels there. They didn't let the Archers were looking to try and generate an open three, likely off the pick and roll, and they just couldn't get through. They were doing a great job switching. Munns pushes down the floor. It's a gamble of whether you make it and make it a 6-point game, and whether it's all over, or do you miss and give them a chance to go the other way. Perhaps that's less costly with 4 points to go. She scores. She's totally justified, but they played great defense down the other end.
The Rebels will miss the first one.
So if I was Carl House, I'd probably try and miss this one as well deliberately to make sure that Archers can't call a timeout. But what have I done?
That's why you're a coach, not a player, maybe.
It's one of those ones, if you're up by 4, you make it up by 5, then it's pretty much game over. You're unlikely to be able to get. It's tough enough to get 4 points in one go. They're probably not going to foul a 3-pointer or commit an unsportsmanlike foul on a made 3-pointer or anything like that. So yeah, probably one of those ones where you can go either way, and it looks like this game is probably out of sight. It's going to take a borderline miracle here for Archers to even tie it up and get it to overtime.
There's 1.6 to go. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, if any stranger things happened, it would probably need to be a TV series. I'm not feeling too confident here. By the time that you catch the ball, get the shot up, and it potentially goes in, you're probably looking at a time. I think that last defensive possession by the Rebels there was excellent. They're going to look back on that and say, yeah, when it came down to crunch time, we knuckled down and we got it done. They're not even at their season average of points. They've held Archers to just a little bit low what they normally hold teams to. They average 80 points a game and give up 78. So they've been slowed down a bit here, but they've dug in defensively like Tom Sadler wanted them to. When I spoke to him earlier, and it seems like they may have got the job done here.
Well, bearing a miracle, that will be the ball game. The Essex Rebels take a 78-73 victory over the Cardiff Met Archers here. A great game of basketball, WBBL action to cap off what's been a very good day for the WBBL as well. Sevenoaks beating London 75-72 earlier. Manchester beating Oakland's 80-51. And here at King Coyd, it is Essex Rebels 78, Cardiff Met Archers 73.
They're just more good form. It's 5 in a row now for the Essex Rebels, and they're all roughly similar scores. They keep winning by 5, 6, 7, 8. All in the sort of 70 to 60 or around that range. And I think that's a sign that they're sort of probably maturing as a team. I think if we were to ask Coach Tom Sadler, how happy he is with that. Mentioned defence and rebounding. Well, they certainly rebounded very well, at least offensively, and their defence really improved. They held the Archers to only 30 points in that final quarter. And if you're holding teams to your 30 points in the second half, if you're holding teams to 15 points per quarter, you're going to be really happy with that. You're going to back your team to score more than 60 every time. So that's a really good second half for the Rebels, and probably something they spoke about at half-time, and they'll be very pleased with that.
Well, we're not quite done here yet. We should hear from head coach Steph Collins, but we broadcast the game for the first time 2 weeks ago, and if you want to know exactly more about what goes into streaming these, take a look at this.
My role today is a cameraman. I've been switching. First half I was on camera 2, doing the close-ups of the game. Second half I'm on camera 1, doing the wide shots. It's been a really good time. I've been really enjoying it. Our first time covering live sport. Great to be back out here. Yeah, never filmed any basketball, never really watched basketball, so it took a few minutes to get into the rhythm of the game, but once you're into it, it is quite fun to cover, getting a good reaction shots, getting shots on the coaches, getting shots on the baskets. Yeah, it's fun.
I will always feel something. I will always care. I will always feel something.
First time we've live streamed a game here with the master's course, the sports broadcasting course. It's it's a couple of months into it, so it's great just to be able to get onto it. First time we're doing basketball as well, so it's been a real challenge for some of us. Not many of us really know the game of basketball. My background is not basketball, it's ice hockey, so it's been interesting to commentate on something completely different, but it's been a lot of fun.
Of the Cardiff Met Archers. Steph, obviously commiserations on a close defeat. What do you think was the key difference between the two sides today?
I think down the stretch, I think Essex, they managed to finish well. They executed. I think we had a chance to, tie the game, but there's just a couple of silly mistakes in terms of, we were trying to get a shot and the clock wound down. We actually probably needed a quicker look. But fair play, you can't fault the effort of the team today. They were aggressive from the jump. Defensively, I thought we did a nice job in terms of, trying to front Waith and take away Costa, and that help side rotation was going to be so key today with how much they penetrate. And great to see us, offensively being assertive. That's something we've had this mindset this week, is that we've got to be aggressive. I think the last time we played Leicester last weekend, they were talking about how relentless we are, and that's not just at the defensive end, that's got to be at the offensive end as well, in terms of, getting into the key, getting into the paint, and creating options for us.
I just want to talk quickly about Izzy Bunyan. She only played, I think, about 11 minutes, but it felt like she was all over the court, getting her hands on everything, and seemed like she had a real positive impact. Can you just talk a little bit about how she played and what was she like?
Is that Izzy Bunyan? Yeah, Izzy was fantastic today. She's shown so much growth over this past year, and I think with that step up to WBBL, because she's someone that's coming through the GB pathway, played GB under 16s, is still quite young, but it's great to have her in the mold, and she's showing us every day that she can play at this level and she wants to compete, and she's going to continue to thrive.
I just wanted to quickly ask about recent games. Obviously, another close defeat, and while it's been a little bit of a losing streak, they've all been quite close. Do you still take some sort of consolation from the fact that you're in games all the time and you're not getting blown out?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you're going to look at that scoreboard and we're going to be deflated after. Of course we are, because at the end of the day, we're going to play in a competitive sport and we want to win. But we have to keep taking every day as it comes, and I think today is a step in that right direction. As we said against our Leicester game past weekend, this is another step forward versus taking 2 steps back. So yes, I think that win is just around the corner for us.
Speaking of the double header, the weekend, the games just keep coming thick and fast. How are you guys feeling about getting another 2 games in while you're already potentially feeling a little bit tired? Yeah,
no, it's been amazing for us, because there's no time to dwell. basically playing 6 weeks straight of Wednesday weekend games. So for us, that's fantastic. I mean, we had that 8-week break of just training, so we take all that 8 weeks worth of work now to the test. So we go from game to game, and it's great. And I think the girls have been enjoying it. Sure, there's going to be some tired bodies, but now we just got to manage, the rest of the season.
Right, thank you very much for your time, Steph, and best of luck at the weekend.
Thanks, Tom. And thank you, Cardiff Met Broadcasting. You guys are fantastic. Can't say it enough.
Thanks.
We jump back in. Well, that was fascinating to hear from Steph Collins. Good interview as well from you, Tom. For the Archers, they've got the Manchester Met Mystics coming up next. What do they do for them?
Yeah, Manchester Met Mystics, they've got a lot of GB talent stacked up. Georgia Jones is one of the best point guards that WBL's ever seen, and she's a phenomenal shooter. They got players like a Nicolette Von Lee Kiwi, I think, comes off the bench for them, and she's another GB guard. And they've got bigs like Hannah Shaw. They're stacked with talent, and they're not necessarily grinding out lots of wins at the moment, but they've got the potential to just beat anybody on the day. And like Steph said, I think that the Archers are getting closer and closer to just reeling off a set of 3 or 4 sort of wins in a row, but they really need to just get one game under their belt where they can get that win, and then they'll go on a run.
And it was good to hear from Steph Collins on Izzy Bunyan as well. A lot of faith in her young players there.
Yeah, and there was also 2 young Welsh players on the bench, so I think it just shows what the club are trying to do. There is a pathway all the way through, from when you're 6 years old all the way through to playing in the WBBL.
Well, it's not just basketball that we do here at Cardiff Met. There is plenty of other sport on offer. Here is just a little bit about what we do here.
Lynn Davis of Great Britain. 8.07.